Forgive me, Keith, but I just have to ask, so if it takes you a month to write a screenplay, I'm just going to try to play devil's advocate here, how good could it really be if it takes a month? Shouldn't you put more time into it?
I think it depends on the writer, and it really depends on the content was created. You have to be honest with yourself and sit down after you've written the screenplay and say, is this what I wanted to write? Is this what I tried to make? And is this what I want to make for a film? Because like for me, for instance, I write screenplays to make films. I'm not really like a screenwriter in a sense. I mean, I write screenplays, but that's to make the film, obviously. That's because there's some people who just write screenplays, obviously, right? And then they don't really direct or do anything with it. They just sell them. But I think it just depends on the what you come up with. You have to sit down, like I said, and read through it and say, is this what I wanted? Am I content with this? Because there's some people who will take 10 months to write a screenplay or years, which for me, that's too long. I mean, if it takes that long, it takes that long. But I'm always trying to create content to shoot something to make, because I want to make feature films, right? So I'm always coming up with stuff okay, I want to make this film, let's get it done, let's write it and revise it, look at it, and then let's try to find a way to make it. So I'm always not on a time crunch, but I'm always trying to make my next project.
Is that your style in life too? Just when you know you want to do something, you're just all in on it and you do it? Okay.
Yes, no, I 100% agree. I think so. If I want something, I'm just always on the hustle every single day trying to achieve that goal. I always have that goal in mind every single day when I wake up. It's there. I mean, that's what I have written down. And I try to do something every single day what furthers my career. Whatever it is. If it's emailing people, calling people, going to a networking event, writing another screenplay, shooting something just to further it every single day. And that's, if you do that every single day, I think, and you have that mindset in the hustle, then you'll always be moving forward.
So when you came here in 2012, you were more hoping to act, right? You were kind of planning to be an actor?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or that was...
Here's the thing. Well, no, because here's the thing. I think a lot of people, because when you see a film, so I grew up loving films as a child, as a kid, and when you see a film, the first thing you see is the actors, but you don't know about all of their jobs on the set. You don't know what the director of photography, the camera operators, the gaffers, the grips, the second unit, coordinator, directors, all these people. You don't know about their jobs, so you see the actors. So you're like, well, that's what I want to do. I want to be involved in films. So that's kind of the first thing a lot of people I've seen they get into is usually the acting or stunt acting or something like that. So that was the first thing I was trying to get into. And then I've always been interested in producing and writing, directing my own stuff. And I went to a film program for about almost a year, and then I started making my own content, and I fell in love with really directing more than anything. That's kind of what my true passion is, I think.
So it's 2012, and although the recession was technically over, I believe it still was lingering here in LA. Things hadn't really recovered, so there's that issue. But how was it for you driving around to auditions? I know you had talked about that previously, and that is such a huge part of being an actor. How was that for you, and how was that an eye-opener?
It's a tough life. Every person who's an actor, and I appreciate that. Like them taking on that is very hard to do, and it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time. Well, even making a film does, but even that, because there's so much rejection in that. You're just driving around town, and you walk into a room with 50 other people who look just like you, and they're just as skilled as you, and you're auditioning for a part. And it's just like, a lot of times some of these casting offices, they don't even use, they'll call in those 50 people, they don't even use any of them. They'll just recast, or they'll find another 50 people they can potentially cast. So, and that's kind of what led me to making my own product in films. It's just like, I got sick of that after like a little over a year, and want to kind of create my own path and destiny by, using my own finances and things to make my own products instead of like relying on others and trying to do the casting calls and stuff. It's very, very tough life living like that, I think.
Yeah, it is a grind, and you're always sort of reaching for this carrot, and sometimes you grab it, and then sometimes you don't.
Right.
Was there a defining day where you said, no, was it the day you enrolled in the film school, or what was it where you said, I don't think this route is for me, I want to make films?
I think it was accumulation over that little over a year. It was like a year and a half when I was doing that. But when I enrolled into the film program, that's when I fell in love with like directing stuff, and I said, this is awesome. Just making my own products, I can create my own, vision for the story in the film, and write it, and then make my own characters. And if I wanted to be in the film, like I do for a lot of stuff, for almost all my stuff, I could write my own characters on the way I would want to portray it or whatever. Because it's usually the writer, the character is the best and the story the best for the most part, because you're writing it, you're creating it. So yeah, I think when I enrolled in that program was really what was a turning moment for me, and changed a lot. From there, that's when things started to really change for me out here, and I started seeing a lot more success and exposure, and yeah, that was awesome. It was a good day.